Hey guys, welcome to the We Need to Calm Down podcast. I'm Devin.
And I'm Joe.
And this is a show where we talk about all things Taylor Swift.
That's right. This is the show where two friends finally get to let their dedication to the first female artist in history to spend an entire cumulative year at number one on the Billboard 200. Taylor Swift, Fly. It was a long one this week.
We'll be discussing everything from song breakdowns, Taylor news, and our insane fan theories.
So I feel like this is going to be a little bit of a longer episode because we're doing a deep dive today. And last week we did our initial reaction to Fearless Taylor's version, her first re-record. And this week we wanted to take some time. When the last two albums she came out with, we really got to sit down and do a rankings of our favorite songs in those albums. And we think that this week, with Taylor just releasing her oldest albums, this is the best opportunity to go back in time and kind of revisit these old albums and see what our rankings of these were. What's interesting, and I think we'll mention this and touch on this as we go through, but some of them probably changed with Taylor's version being released. Like, some have moved up, some have moved down from what we originally would have put them if we had ranked these songs prior to the re-records. But I'm really interested in this because this is 2008. This is my genre of Taylor. This is my wheelhouse. So I'm excited to see where you fell on a lot of these. We did do a rankings episode, I guess 2 episodes ago, was our 50th episode where we ranked our top 10 Taylor Swift songs of all time. So it's going to go a little bit in the same way of that. We're going to go countdown from 20 all the way down to 1 and give like a little bit of a spiel on each of these songs that we liked. And then at the very end, we're going to rank the From the Vaults songs separately, just because to me that makes the most sense. We don't want to intersperse them with the rest of the album because we want to kind of keep it to the true re-release. And I think that's it.
That was a good summary. Yes.
Sorry,
I was nodding along the whole time. Just yes. I agree.
Yeah, so just one more before we get into it. I do want to give another quick plug. If you listen to our 50th episode, you heard us plug this before, but there is a great Tumblr account that has a song sorter for this. If you're ever curious, they are not paying me to do this. I just love this service so much, and I use it more than I probably should. But if you're curious where your rankings are and you really want to go through the gambit, it's Jesse Pinkman on Tumblr. If you just Google Taylor Swift song sorter, it'll probably be the first one that comes up. But it is a really robust system, and we have used it a lot in all of these rankings. Occasionally we fiddle with the end results, but it's surprisingly accurate.
Yes, I love them. Okay. Do you want to just dive into it?
Let's get into it with number 20, where I think it might be, I didn't look through the whole thing, but it might be the only time we agreed.
No, we agree a couple times, actually.
What? Mm-hmm. I love that. All right.
Yes.
So number 20 for me is Forever and Always piano version.
Same here.
Yeah, like, it's weird because it's not a bad song. And like, again, we're going to preface this. We always say this. Even though these are our bottom ranked songs, Taylor Swift never puts out a bad song. The girl is batting 1,000. She's incredible. We love all of these songs. We never don't listen to them, but we gotta rank them somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And it's difficult. But this one is a little unanimous because I don't know about you. I'm not a huge fan of alternate versions of songs. The original demo recordings on Red, I almost never listen to. Mm-hmm. I think the only acoustic version of a song that Taylor has ever put out that I enjoy and I go out of my way to listen to is probably Haunted. But even then, it's not frequent. Like,
yeah, I'm a little bit of a Taylor Swift purist myself when it comes to whatchamacallit, different versions of it, which was interesting because we were both like, what if she put out a whole album of remastered and reimagined songs, but
chopped and screwed.
Mm-hmm.
To bring it back to 2005. I don't think they're bad to have. Like, I'm never going to be upset at an alternate version because at the end of the day, the alternate version isn't going to replace the original version. We'll always have that original version. but I just rarely find myself in a mood to listen to a piano version of Forever and Always.
Yeah, I just always listen to the original more myself. I never really sought out the piano version, except if maybe I'm thinking if I was younger and trying to do like an acoustic cover of it on YouTube,
Mhm.
like waiting for my parents to leave and going, okay, well now I'm gonna sing karaoke because no one's
Yeah.
home.
I've definitely done that with like guitar and stuff because at least with this and the other acoustic versions, it's just easier to play along to an acoustic version
Hmm.
if you want to record your cover of it or something. So I'll seek them out for that. But yeah.
So cringy. Okay, number 19.
Number 19 for me was The Best Day. It's never been high on my radar. It's a really cute song. I'm glad it exists. I'm sure when I'm a parent or am more parent adjacent, it might bump up the stock for me. But at the time that I found Taylor Swift and found this song, it didn't really resonate with me. And I've only gotten farther away from it since because I found it in high school and now I'm nowhere near high school. So it's not there. It did get a little bit of a bump. Like I listened to it more in the re-release than I did previously, but
I won.
by one. Yeah.
I'd have to say my number 19 was Superstar. So with all of the bonus tracks, they did definitely get a little bump just in terms of appreciation because I was never really one to listen to the bonus tracks. So this one was something that I really gravitated towards, but it wasn't my favorite of the bonus tracks.
That's so interesting because we're in the exact opposite camp there because I remember growing up, I very much gravitated towards the bonus tracks because they were just extra swift because
Hmm.
I had already listened to the crap out of the original.
Well,
Like,
again, I'm a Taylor Swift purist, so I
mhm.
was these are the originals, and these are the couple that maybe I'll listen to once, but I didn't really invest my time into. But now you'll see that some things have changed. Everything has changed.
I love that. So my number 18 is also a bonus track, is Untouchable. Uh, I think this one was actually higher before the re-records, but it's still probably my least favorite of the bonus tracks, but it was really a hard one to rank. I really like the song. Knowing that it was a cover of like a really hard rock song gives it a lot of mystique for me. Like, where did Taylor find this? Who came to her and was like, this would be a good song for you to cover? And like, not even knowing it was a cover until a couple of years ago, like, it sounds so much like a Taylor Swift song. Like, did she write this song for Luna Halo at some, like, I don't know. Like, it's so weird.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's just a little too slow and not something that I really ever gravitated too much towards.
As someone who likes slower songs, that song is a little bit higher for me. But my number 18 is actually Jump Then Fall, which I know is ranked higher for you. But
Disrespect.
it's just another song again that I wasn't too huge on the first time around, but it jumped up two places. Whenever I would do my Taylor Swift just overall ranking, there was always these fearless bonus tracks that I just didn't really know about because I wasn't too invested in them. That would always ended up at the bottom. But now I have a frame of reference and it's a great song. Again, number 18. She still doesn't release bad songs.
Yeah.
There's just other songs that I would probably rank a little bit higher.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well,
17 of them.
so then we get to 17 where we actually agreed again. That's
Mm-hmm.
incredible.
Yep.
Mine was 15, which
And so was mine.
which also means it was yours too. This one always was lower for me. Like, it was overshadowed by her other songs when I first got into Taylor Swift. Like, when I first got into her, it was Love Story, You Belong With Me, and 15 were like all of these singles that she had released. And I was so baffled by people liking 15 when Love Story was there or You Belong With Me was there or like literally the rest of the album, to be honest. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't understand people's infatuation with the song. And it did get a small bump because I do like Taylor's version better, but it's still hard for me to put it high. Like, I just still don't go out of my way to listen to it. I didn't relate to it that much then. I definitely don't relate to it as much now.
Mm-hmm. It's hard because it's such a classic song, but at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, I think we talked about this before. I've never like sought out 15 to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
And when we started listening to, Taylor's version, we were like, well, I can tolerate this song again and I
Yep.
can listen to it and it's nice, but it still just doesn't in rankings compare to some of the other songs that she's put out.
It has great lines, but
Mm-hmm.
like there's some really good moments in it, but like just overall, when you listen to a song, you're not listening. Like it's already 3 minutes. You're not going to get the truncated version of it
Yeah.
and get just the best pieces. Yeah, it's just not that up there for me.
Mm-hmm.
So number 16, we're gonna switch it up. Devin, what was your number 16?
So mine was actually The Best Day, which you ranked lower. So the reason it was a bit higher for me, I always have to be in the mood to cry to the song just because The Best Day always just tugs at my heartstrings a little bit because I have a really close relationship with my mom and my dad. And it's just I don't know if it's the woman in me that just makes me like, or maybe the guilt. I don't know. Either one of those things. I feel like they probably tie together in therapy. But just it's one of those songs that's just very sentimental. And I think it might have been higher for the original version just because I think I don't know. Either way, I mean, she's singing to her mom, and I don't know if I ever told you, but here's my chance to say it. But I feel like when she was younger, it was a little bit more, not that it was more authentic, but it hit a little bit harder. But
Mm-hmm.
it still hits, especially with everything going on with her and her mom. It's a great song, but again, one of those songs that I have to be in the mood to seek out.
See, the thing for me is I never understood that it was about her mom because she has the line, "I have an excellent father." So I always thought the whole song was about her father, and
No,
I
that's just the
don't have an
bridge.
excellent father, so I can't relate to the song at all. So I just never cared for.
Oh my. No, the whole song is about her and her mom. And then she has a little bridge that she's like, yeah, my father's cool. My brother's, an angel. But my
But
mom.
my mom,
Mm-hmm.
though,
Yep.
yeah, I don't know. That was just like that's what made it not relatable for me. My number 16 though is Change, and it's weird. This is probably like the last of the songs I was really lukewarm on or like the least excited for on this album. There is nothing wrong with this song. Like there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. As Taylor Swift fans would say, it's perfectly fine. But it just never really jumped out at me. It like always kind of blended in. I never really screamed any of the lyrics. I never cried to it. I never got put in a mood that was like, gosh, I have to listen to Change now.
Mm-hmm.
Like it very much just blended in with the background. It felt very, to use a weird term, milk toast. So it's been relegated to the tail end of the rankings. It's still, I think the Taylor's version probably bumped it up a little bit more than, because I think originally I might have put Untouchable above it, but yeah, it's just such a middle of the road song for me. Still great. Taylor's middle of the road.
Yeah.
Still A pluses,
I
but
I definitely have some thoughts on change that kind of correlate to what you're saying, but we'll get to it when we eventually have my ranking of it. I forget where I put it. But number 15, I actually put Untouchable here
mm,
because this was one of the bonus tracks that really jumped up for me because they all
mm,
did, but this one just a little bit more so because I am a slow Taylor Swift song fan. I love all of her Sad, Beautiful, Tragics and You Are in Love. And I love the vulnerability in her voice in these types of songs. And the fact that it's a cover makes it 10 times better. You touched about it. I appreciated it a lot more, but I think that's really all I have to say about it. It's a great song. It really showcases the little taste of heaven.
literally, I'm imploring you right now. If you're a fan of Taylor Swift and you're listening to this podcast, if you're not a fan of never anyway, if you're a fan of Taylor Swift and you're listening to this podcast and you haven't heard the original version of Untouchable, pause this show right now. Go to YouTube, go to Spotify, whichever listening app of your choice is, and look up Untouchable by Luna Halo and tell me how this woman found this song.
I'm very curious about
And
that.
like, what is the story behind it? I need to know. My 15 is a bonus track as well, which is it. I will say, like, we did kind of group a lot of them, like, because mine's Superstar, which you
Mm-hmm.
had further back. So, like, this song, like I said, might have been in the place of Untouchable. Like, I feel like these two were very close to each other, but had it not been for Taylor's version, it just moved it up a lot more for me. For a couple of reasons, this song is bumped up, but the main one is honestly, it's really weird. And I meant to text you about this earlier today to see if you noticed it because it's so subtle. But there's like this little extra trill or run. I don't know the exact music term for it. She does when saying photograph.
Mm.
If you didn't notice it, like it's
Well,
so small.
I probably didn't notice it because I didn't know Superstar that well. So I wouldn't be
That's
able to
fair.
tell the difference.
That's fair. She has like there's this tiny little like blip that she does in the word photograph that like like at the first I was like whoa, and like I saw it, I was like all right, I really like because she does it in You're Not Sorry too, where she just like you see she shows off her voice a lot more in this Taylor's version, and it just makes it so much more fun to listen to. And it just really intrigued me. It really made me want to seek out the song to listen to it more. I have a really strong penchant for the bonus songs in this album, despite this and Untouchable's lower rankings. And this was the beginning. I think once we hit 15, it was the beginning of impossible to decide for me.
How
Like,
appropriate.
yeah. It
Mm.
just got from here on out, it's just very difficult.
So now we have number 14. So what was your number 14?
My number 14, I said I have a penchant for bonus tracks and then come out with this, is Come In With The Rain. And I feel like you're gonna heavily disagree with me on this one. But and I honestly I think past me would disagree heavily as well. 11th grade me probably would have ranked this in the top 10 at least. I remember seeking this one out a lot to listen to. I genuinely loved this song growing up. But as I've grown and I've grown more fond of the actual album tracks and over the bonus tracks, it's much better as Taylor's version. The production is so good, but I think I've just grown to like the non-bonus tracks a little bit more, weirdly enough, maybe because I overplayed the bonus tracks.
Potentially.
What's your 14?
So my 14 was You're Not Sorry. And I love this song, but I think you pointed it out. Like the
Yeah.
re-recording just didn't really do too much for me. So in terms of just the actual song itself, it's gonna be pretty much like middle of the rankings for me. I wish it was higher. I think if it was the original, it would have been higher for me, but I think this is pretty standard where the song lays for me.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right. 13.
It just doesn't have the emotional gravitas behind it that it used to.
I 100% can see and agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
And it just doesn't feel that it doesn't hit the same as the CSI version of the song either.
Can I point out how appropriate it is that our number 13 is the same?
I didn't even notice that. That's oh my gosh. How do we get 3 that were the same?
I think so, yeah. And it's weird because they're all like spread out weird.
That's so funny. I love that. Okay. So what is our 13?
Our number 13 is Hey Steven. And so for me, we both agree that it's a bop, but I was obsessed with this song when I was younger. I was singing this song with whoever my crush was at the time with 3 syllables. Steve, that's 2. I'm dumb. 2 syllables. But now I can appreciate it fondly. I still think it's an amazing song, but this used to be just such a bop and a half for me.
It's just so boppy. Like it's such an upbeat, happy song.
Mm-hmm.
I had a friend named Steven spelled the same way, so I would mock him every time. Like we would pull up to like pick him up to go somewhere. I would have this song on or Kesha's Steven on.
Oh
Like
my.
when he comes to open the door. 2008 was a very weird time for Stevens. Like if blonde pop stars were just serenading you left and right. But I love the re-recording of it. It's a weird phrase to say, but it is mind-numbingly upbeat.
Mm-hmm.
And a rarity I feel in Taylor's music when her fan base, or maybe just me, gravitates towards like her heartbreaking and sad songs like this one. You can't like when you hear the like you can't when she starts humming, you just start bobbing your head and like getting into it.
It's so cheery. So number 12. What was your number 12?
Just original version, Forever and Always. Just the non-piano version, full production version. The OG is just so much better than the piano version, and we're starting to get like the literally how do you decide between these songs part of our rankings. Like this song is iconic. It's so upbeat, but the lyrics are brutal. Like I'm doing like a side project for potentially a future episode, and like even Spotify's rankings were like, oh, this is like a 68 out of 100 happiness rating. No, it's not. No, it's not, Spotify. You
No.
wrong algorithm. Like it is so depressing, but like you're moving and you're happy when you're listening to it, but your eyes are crying.
Yeah.
Uh it's definitely one of the songs I remember listening to the most in high school. It really made me see how Taylor Swift was secretly an emo queen, that like my little heartbroken self could love.
Hmm.
It's so good. It's so good. Devin, what was your 12?
So my 12 was today was the fairy tale. So quick note that while not on the original Fearless, we wanted to include it in our rankings somewhere. So if you want to be a purist, just take it out. But I think that this rendition was beautiful of it. I think re-recorded, the production level just really increased on it. And I think that it really does belong in Fearless. And it's just such a beautiful track. And my friend was like, what is this laced with? I'm like, crack. The song is crack. It's so good. But to your point, I do want to touch on Forever and Always because it is my number 11.
Mm.
And this used to be such a high song for me, but I personally think that I'm just scarred by the memory of me lip syncing to this in middle school that it just has to go down a little bit. But this used to be that song that you would scream.
Oh yeah.
Just that bridge was so aggressive, but really all that I think of when I think of the song now is my trauma. So it has been impacted a little bit.
This is a song that like you want to open your window when it's raining, just so the water comes in, and then sit on the ground next to the on the up against the wall next to the window, so the rain comes in and you're just like hands in your hair singing the song. Like it's definitely up there. My
Mhm.
number 11 I think is a little bit uh racy, is White Horse.
Mm,
It's a track 5.
yeah.
Like it's just honestly, guys, it's just so hard from here. Like this song could easily be anywhere above the below tracks on the right day. But like as I grew up and I'm just happier in my single life and stray farther from the feelings of unrequited love and disappointments and significant others, this song just sings like sadly rings less true to me. Like it's harder for me to relate to. And I guess like if that's my biggest problem in life, sure, that's fine.
I was
But
just going to say, as someone who's happily in a relationship, I feel the opposite. I love this song, but continue.
yeah, no, it's just, and I think this is a theme with a lot of Fearless, weirdly, because well, I'll probably get into it with another song more, but like when you're in high school, your emotions and your feelings with music and your feelings with love and crushes and infatuations and all of that stuff are so at an all-time high that these songs just amplify it so much.
Mm-hmm.
So like I know when I was in high school and listening to a majority of these songs, like they just hit on like a 12 out of 10 Richter scale earthquake every time. And as you get older and you just don't feel, it sounds so bad, but you just don't feel things as much. Like, not to say that you don't feel intensely or anything like that, but like your hormones are just at an all-time high in high school.
Yeah.
And you just feel these things so much more. And Taylor was in high school when she was putting them out. So she was like, finger on the pulse, knew what she was doing. And like White Horse, it's just not the same when you're 26. Like, it's just not.
Yeah.
It's still great. It's still an amazingly written song, well-produced song. The re-recording is incredible, but the personal connection, you get farther and farther from it as you get
Mm-hmm.
older.
I agree
But
with that.
let's go into something a little more upbeat. We're gonna go to our number 10. So we're in our top tens. We might talk a little bit more about these. So just to keep it going. But our top 10 starts with me on Fearless, which it's another upbeat bop. I can't get over the nostalgia of this album. I remember this song coupled with Sparks Fly give me an infatuation for rain, like this weird like mysticism around rain and love Taylor loves rain, and especially in this period in her life. But geez, if she didn't make every couple see black clouds and think, oh my gosh, yes, we have to stop whatever we're doing and go out and kiss in the rain. It'll be so romantic and so cute. And this is before Instagram, when you would even have like a thing to post it. Like, could you imagine if we had Instagram in high
Or
school when this song
TikTok.
came out? Oh my gosh, the amount of like kissing in the rain that would have happened. It really romanticized everyday things. This song did. Dancing in a parking lot, driving down a road, just a storm. I listened over and over to this song today, and I think the lyric that stands out the most to me is, it's the first kiss, it's flawless, really something, it's fearless. I don't know, something about the description really gets me. I love the really something. Like, you can't think of anything, there's nothing else to say. It's really something. I like it. I love it. This song is pretty.
Keep that in mind for later. But my number 10 is Change. And so I ranked this a lot higher than what you did. And I just think the implications of the song really increased it with Taylor's version. You know, her extended note, the guitar solo just really stood out. The power of it just behind it. I think it's such a victorious song. We touched on it, I think, last episode. But this was one of those songs that, you know, in a normal original Taylor Swift album, I ranked lower because I never really sought it out. It was just, it was a great song, but it was lesser compared to the other ones. But now when it does come on, just, it was the night things changed. Can you see it now? It's just so, it is so victorious. You're just like, you're cheering for her. So that would have to be my number 10. And I think that's why.
No, I think that's I give it to you. Yeah. That's like, you might have convinced me a little bit that it could go up, but yeah.
So
the
I
extended note gets it for me. Really.
I want you to do your number 9 first, because I think it'll lend way into our future. But
I thought we had like a perfect flip flop here, and I'm a little upset that we don't. But my number 9, and this is the one that I think I battled back and forth with the most. My number 9 is The Way I Loved You. And this intro, like, I rewrote this note a million times, because the first was like, this intro makes me want to punch a tree, but I thought, I don't want to hit a living thing. This intro makes me want to just shadow box and just start getting up and start getting ready for what? I don't know, but I just want to get ready. You know what I want to get ready for? The first verse. Like, I don't know how you do not get immeasurably psyched when you hear those kick drums leading into that blaring intro, and then mellow verse, and then that mellow verse, like, you're just like, but wait, we just came from like all this electric shock, and then you feel this build and build, and then I miss screaming and fighting and kissing in the rain, again in the rain. This song is honestly big Cancer energy, like the astrological sign.
Yep.
And I've dated a couple of those, and the highs are insanely high. The lows are insanely low. It's like a drug. This song is a drug. The lyrics, I mean, I miss screaming and fighting and kissing in the rain. It's 2 a.m. and I'm cursing your name. Like, I miss this insane passion. Like, I know it's unhealthy and it's unsustainable, but like, teenage emotions turned up to 10, where everything is heightened. Guys, never grow up. Just don't become jaded and old.
She has a song about that.
Yeah, and when that re-releases, it's going to absolutely destroy me. But yeah, The Way I Loved You, it's a fantastic song. What's your number 9 there, Devin?
Criminally. My number 9, and you'll agree because this is your number 8, so we can just kind of tie them together. But The Other Side of the Door. It's criminal that this masterpiece of a song is my number 9. This was my top bonus track. This was sought it out, such an underrated song. The end bridge still gets me, but it's just not quite same.
We literally developed a cult behind the bridge on this song together as co-hosts.
Yeah.
Like, we fought for this song in our top bridges episode. Like, how this song, we talked about this bridge being up there with All Too Well, with Last Kiss, with Cruel Summer. Like, that's how good of a bridge we thought the song was. And you put it at number 9. I
know.
And then I put it at number 8. Yeah, it's like I said, we developed a cult following around this song that we both subscribe to, and we do so because of that bridge. I think it fell exactly like you said it best. Like there's we can't even tell. Like I listen to it over and over again. I'm like, I really can't tell. I can't tell what the difference is, but there is a difference, and we just don't know what it is. Like it's what like my think is whatever energy she had in the bridge on the original is out of this version, the re-record of the bridge, and just was transferred into Tell Me Why. Like, because it's just something's not there. But I will say it was replaced with one of my new favorite parts of her saying, I screamed out the wait, what is it?
Yes. And I screamed at the window.
I can't like it's so weird and I make fun of it all the time, but I absolutely love it. I really love the way it sounds. I'm gonna relentlessly mock it, but it is one of my all-time favorite things. We talk about it all the time. The bridge is just so good. I tried to pick something else to like point out about it, but it's just that outro bridge. Like it's so iconic, but the bridge can't make the whole song. And it's like the sister song to The Way I Loved You. Like we always accidentally say the other one thinking it's the other one. It's really good, but yeah, this is one of those poster childs for the re-record. Change something about it. So Devin, that was my number 8. What is your number 8?
I'm doing my Stefan hands from SNL. My number 8
has everything.
Is Coming with the Rain. So this song skyrocketed for me just instantly. Number 8, Coming with the Rain. Above The Other Side of the Door. Who am
Sacrilege.
I? Who am I? What podcast is this? I don't know her, but I have been obsessed with this song since the re-recording. I partially think it's because I didn't appreciate it when I was younger and when the original version was out. So rediscovering the song has just been mind-blowing for me. And it's just so good. And I cannot get over. I my jaw drops every single time at the very end of the song where I don't want to sing it because I'll butcher it. But she just like goes down with it. And she's like, just know I'm right here hoping. It's just like, she just like, it's not what you expect. And I'm like, okay, Alto Taylor, you're going down with it. You're going up with it. Just, it was just so, I love that you articulate everything so well. And for me, I'm just like emotions, words that don't make sense put together. But that's really how I feel about this song. Just instantly the appreciation for it went up so high. But this is my top bonus song. Isn't that crazy?
It's so funny because I feel like in 2009 I probably would have agreed with you a lot more on that, because I remember being obsessed with this song as a bonus track. Like I thought it was one of the best ones.
It's so dramatic.
It's really good, and the production on the redo is so off the charts, incredible. So number 7, what is your number 7?
My number 7 is Tell Me Why, which I know you have ranked a little higher, but it is just an upbeat country masterpiece. The song is laced with something. It's laced with something country. I don't know. Like a little, it's laced with a little yeehaw.
But it's laced with yeehaw. That sounds like a drug that would be on the next season of Riverdale.
It makes me just want to like swing a golf club into someone's car, a la like Picture to Burn. But she really just did not need to go as hard as she did with the song. And something about the re-recorded version just skyrockets the song for me, because it wasn't really that high for me with the original.
Yeah, it's a great song, and I will speak more to that as we go on. But my number 7 is actually Today Was a Fairy Tale. I have been a stan of this song for a very, very long time, and I have a very skewed love for her singles, or, I mean, maybe not crazier, but like the Today Was a Fairy Tale, Sweeter Than Fiction, they weren't on her albums, so I definitely heard them a lot less than her normally released music. So like there's something about like they weren't overplayed for me or something, and it was like this extra treat of Taylor. Sweeter Than Fiction, which I'm excited to talk about in another one, but like I didn't find that song until like 2 years ago. So like finding a time capsule of an old Taylor Swift song, and this is another one, like it's just like, oh my gosh, it's a treat of this old era Taylor that like isn't as played out, or I haven't listened to 30,000 times. Like
Mm-hmm.
I've only listened to it 1,300 times. Um yeah, it's so well written. It's so deserving of being this high up, in my opinion. I was more of a hopeless romantic way back then, and the premises and of this song, this fairy tale love, perfect moments, just like Fearless, gives such an aura of magic to extremely mundane and simple things. You picked me up at 6, but like the way she says is like you came in like this ball gown and like all this stuff. I wore a dress. You wore a dark gray t-shirt. Like it's just so simplistic
Mm-hmm.
stuff, but like wrapped around today was a fairy tale. You know how why today was a fairy tale? You picked that dark gray t-shirt and put it on your stupid body, and suddenly you're Prince Eric. Like I love that so much. Like the eyes that she looked at the world with
Mm-hmm.
when she wrote this song is just so great, and I'm obsessed with it. I really am.
No, that's a really good point. I agree with those points.
God, I can't wait to do deep dives into all of these songs, man. It's going to be so much fun. So tell me your six. Tell me your six. I want to hear your six.
So my number 6 was White Horse, which you had a little bit lower. And this song has always been one of my favorite songs. It's an amazingly sad song that I've cried to. The bridge, there you are on your knees begging for forgiveness. Like,
Jesus.
oh, that was such an amazing song for me. And I just remember being younger and sobbing to this song. And I think that it still has the emotional impact that it does today. Like I said, I was going to mention, I think that someone who is happily in a relationship, I can still just, I'm going to find someone someday who might actually treat me well. And especially with Taylor also in a happy relationship who finally found someone to treat her well, deserves
so
to be in the
so do
top.
you listen to this song like thinking back on your exes, like I found someone who will finally treat me well, like you messed up? All right, good.
Yeah, I don't think about it like, my current boyfriend who I'm like, I'm gonna find someone someday. Because
Like
that'd be
that's
right.
I feel like for me, and this is like really telling, but like I would just be like, I'm waiting for you to mess up so I can love this song more.
Oh my gosh.
I'll forgive you and we'll get over it, but like I'll
Mhm.
be excited when it happens because then I can go listen to White Horse and cry.
Let me transport back to this song real quick. I still love you, but I need to feel this.
I need to hate you for this 3 minutes.
Ugh. What is your
my
number 6?
my number 6 is Jump and Fall. Jump and Fall has always been my number one top standout bonus track. It should have been a full release, not a bonus track. That guitar intro, the boppiness, it's another upbeat, happy, loving song. Taylor captures what it feels like to catch feelings so gosh darn well. Like the two of the things that stand out to me are just first in this song, how she segments her lyrics. She accents her words with the beat of the song so well, and she messes with the cadence so much that the lyrics are so simple, but the delivery makes them stand out so much more and makes them more fun to sing along to. It's like her voice is an instrument in this song. It's super choppy and enunciating in the verses, but then she gets really flowy and fluid in the chorus. Like I love how she also uses filler words and phrases to accent the song, like the whoa, like the whoa oh, like when she gets into the second verse, she goes, "Oh, I like the
Mm-hmm.
way," or like, "I love you, treckle on your face." Oh, like just like those
Yeah.
little things that she adds in that just like they're like little treats, and like oh my gosh, she just does it so well, and they accent the song so well. Oh my gosh, Jump and Fall. I can't believe it wasn't on the original album.
Yeah.
Over change, come on. Yeah.
Now you definitely convinced me that Jump Then Fall is a little bit higher for me. I just don't know where yet. But yes.
I'm really good at I can just come up with a reason and I'll be like, no, I
So
got you.
now we're in our top five.
Oh my gosh. Are
Would
you
you like to
ready?
go first with your top five?
I'll go first with your biggest snub in the world. You're Not Sorry. Give me the tears. This like the best part about Taylor, especially for me in high school, was she started when I developed strong feelings for someone. Like I found her when I found someone who really liked her, and I had a huge crush on this girl. And so she really pushed me towards that infatuation, imagining all the romantic stuff we could do, like kissing in the rain, all of that stuff. It really helped me envision what it would be like when we were together. And then also, when none of that happened, uh girl was like, don't worry, I got you, I got songs for that too. And that's what I was there when I just needed to sob. Like this song transcended for me because I was also able to relate to it the most recently of all the songs on this album, which is probably not the best, but hey, it's also like, yeah, I will agree with you, the re-record just does not hit the same as the old one, but I think the clout that the old one had for me was just too great to drop it too much. This was always one of my favorite songs in this album. It was my comfort song for a very, very long time. The new trill in Taylor's version sends me to
Mm-hmm.
the floor, which makes me like it a little bit more. The guitar solo has always been one of my favorites. One of the first Taylor Swift guitar solos I ever learned on guitar. And then I think my favorite lyric from it has to be, "This is the last straw. There's nothing left to beg for." Like, just like it's so good at being angry at someone and just like, you know what, screw you. There's nothing left for you to, there's nothing even here. What are you talking about? Why are you coming to me? Like, get out of here. You don't even exist anymore. You're not sorry. Don't even call me. Like, I can't get over this song.
I feel like
Devin,
you
what?
just shoot away that old dog. Go on, get. I don't want you no more.
Devin, what's your number 5?
My number five has to be, I needed to include it in my top five, is Breathe.
Oh,
So
love it.
it's hard to improve an already amazing song, but she manages to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Colby's feature is a lot more pronounced. I think that it definitely adds a little bit more, but just the bridge. We've talked about it on the
Oh
songs
my
that we've
gosh.
cried to, and the top bridges. Just this song, its bridge, it just transcends. And I have sobbed to this song when I was younger, and I
I think
think
this is the
that,
saddest song in the album. 100%,
yeah,
hands down.
the emotional scarring that the song has left on my heart just puts it in my top five.
100%.
Mhm.
I couldn't agree. Well, actually, I can agree more. Uh,
We'll get to that in a bit.
we'll get to that in a bit. Number 4, Devin. What is your number 4?
So my number four is actually You Belong With Me. So if this was the original album, this song probably would have been my top song. But the
Interesting.
the re-recording just didn't quite hit in the same way. Just I think because it was my top song when I was younger and it was just such a radio hit and it
Mm.
was everywhere. There's these little nuances that it was never going to replicate it in the same way, but it is still such an amazing song that I can't put it below my top five.
I agree. I agree entirely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think my number 4 is, it's so weird to say, and you said it when you mentioned it a little earlier though, is Tell Me Why. Like, honestly, why is this song number 4? Tell me why. Like, it's so good this time around. Like,
Mm-hmm.
don't get me wrong, I don't want to discredit the original version of this song. Like, the original version I loved still, and it wasn't like a song that I ever sought out, but if it came on shuffle, I was like, yeah, like, and I was like really into it. But like, this girl hit it so hard on the re-record. This version, the energy levels are through the roof. My blood gets pumping, my heart is racing, and I am screaming the lyrics along with her. Even Spotify, again, I was doing research for a probably potentially a later episode. Even Spotify recognizes that this song has more energy in it than the original, according to their metrics. They have an energy metric that they rate songs on, and they're like, I looked at the two, and I'm like, yeah, no, this one's higher on that energy metric. So whatever girl did, it came through. And I think I'm trying to go through and find like my favorite lines of these songs. I think my favorite one from here is "Here's to you and your temper. Yes, I remember what you said last." Nah, uh Fearless Taylor is just so much more about delivery than cutting lyrical couplets like she does now for merch. But her delivery in this song is so awesome. Like, here's to you and your temper.
The way she
Yes,
says temper
the
too.
way she says temper is so good. It's such a good word. Like, and we talked about this with Folklore Evermore, but she picks, and you can see it even in 2008, she picks such great words to sing. Like, temper just gives you like such a great mouth sound to sing, which sounds weird to say, but like, yeah, I something like this re-record. The original version might have been like maybe top 10, probably top 10, but top 5, top 4.
Yeah.
It's that good.
So now we get into the top 3. So I'm gonna let you go first because we just talked about it. But Joe, what is your top 3?
Oh,
What
it's
is your?
Breathe.
Yep.
Oh, it's Breathe. Like, this one genuinely surprised me. Like, I knew I loved this song, but number 3, like I said, we did the song sorter, and usually if I don't agree with something, I'll like bump it back or anything. But I was looking at, and I'm like, this is number 3, and I'm like looking at all the other songs. I'm like, no, yeah, like I like this better than all of them. Like, no, like this song is so beyond good. It is the best cry song in the album by far. I remember playing this song on guitar capo, I think 4 or 6, and it's just crying amidst young dumb teenage heartbreak. You're Not Sorry, don't get me wrong, is a great sad song, but it lets you get out of sadness with a bit of anger. This song has no anger. It is just about the sadness. And there are 3 things I want to point out about it. The line, and we know it's never simple, never easy, never a clean break, no one here to save me. You're the only thing I know like the back of my hand. The cadence on this is unmatched on the album. It rolls off the tongue like your tears roll off your cheeks. Like, it's just so well delivered. The bridge, like, again, we get like with Jump and Fall, where she accents her words with strums of the guitar that just add like this depth to it that's just crazy. And then her people are people lines are just so gut wrenching. Like, people are people, sometimes it just doesn't work out. People are people, and sometimes they change their minds. Like, this song is just so relatable and so painful, because again, there's no anger to let you go, God, you screwed up, and I'm angry at you, and I'm crying because I'm angry at you. It's just, no, sometimes it just doesn't work.
Well, and at the end of the song, she's just saying sorry.
I'm sorry. Like, it's just so heartbreaking.
I know. Oh.
Love this song. So what is your number 3?
So my number 3, which is an absolute sleeper of a song, is The Way I Loved You. This is such a fan cult favorite, and I understand why. It's giving me sadness. It's giving me screaming and fighting and kissing in the rain. It's so powerful of a song. And I think the acoustics behind it, like the actual production, just punches me in the best way possible. Just the little right after the bridge. I mean, the bridge itself is wonderful, but right after the bridge, that little verse coming right back into the chorus, it just slaps you. It just slaps you in the face. It's just, I'm so bad with describing my emotions, but this song just is so powerful.
That is the perfect word for it, honestly, because you listen to the whole song and it just hits you.
I just want to like bang my head to the song. Like, I could mosh to the song.
Oh, 100%.
I want to go to a Taylor Swift mosh now.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine?
Breaking down a comment.
Like knocking people around. And it would, like, this song would fit a mosh 100%. I want to re-edit a video now of like a mosh pit, but with this song playing in the background.
That would be a good. A good reel.
All
All
right.
right. So now we're at our number 2.
I feel like we're getting to the point where it's pretty easy to narrow down, but my number 2 is You Belong With Me. It's hard to say anything about the song that I haven't already said. I always say it when I bring it up, but I hate to pick her most popular songs as my favorite, but I mean they're most popular for a reason. The one thing I'll say about this song is that it is a happy, upbeat song, but it can be listened to when you're feeling sad or emotional because the subject matter isn't all that happy. That's versatility, baby. Like this song hits on a lot of different fronts. It deserves the recognition it gets. It's the reason darn near every Taylor Swift podcast comes out on Tuesdays because typical Tuesday is like just how it came. But like it's there for every occasion. You want to be happy, you'll listen to the song. You want to be sad because the guy you love is with someone else and you think you're a better fit, you'll cry to this song. Like it hits every level. And there's a reason it stood the test of time. I will agree with you. There's something about the re-record that just is off, but it's just the cloud is too big for it to be knocked down because of that. In my opinion.
Yeah, I feel the same way, just a little bit less. But so my number 2 is Love Story, and this surprised me. My number 1 surprised me because Love Story is an instant classic. The nostalgia that I hear when I hear the song, the fact that it was the first re-recording and how hype everyone got, it's just such a classic, so amazing. If I really think that You Belong With Me and Love Story could have switched for me in a different world, but Love Story is just an amazing song. The re-recording is amazing. What she's done with the song for promotion, fantastic. I'm going to let you explain it a little bit more because this is your number 1 and I'm just going to nod and agree.
Yeah, Love Story is my number 1. We talked about it in our top 10 songs of all time. I think this was my number 2, but it's well documented on this show that Love Story is one of my all-time favorite Taylor Swift songs. It's the first Taylor Swift song I ever heard, and I attribute my obsession to this woman, to this song. Like You Belong With Me, at least personally, it's a Swiss Army knife of an emotional song. It's there for when I'm happy. It's there for when I'm sad. It's there all the time. It's the only constant in my life. I'm just kidding. That'd be really sad. But it's like, it's one of the big ones. And I don't listen to it all the time because I have listened to it so much. But it's one of those songs that, especially with the re-record, when it came out, it was like listening to it for like it was a rebirth. It was like listening to it again for like the very first time and like listening to it on repeat and like really listening to it. Like we say this all the time in this episode, especially with the re-records, but like it's so easy to just listen to a song and drown out and forget that you're listening to it, or listen to it while you're doing something else so you're not really paying attention to the song. But like when I got to re-listen to Love Story, the Taylor's version, and just really listen to it, like I'm not doing anything else, it's 1 a.m. and I'm just laying on my bed like being assaulted by this song. Like I love it so much, and it's one of the best things she's ever done.
Yeah.
Except for Devin's number 1, which is
so here, this was a shocker for me. I did not think that this was going to be my number 1, but when I think about it in terms of the re-recordings, this song just hits so much different for me, and that is the title track, Fearless. Like I said, it shocked me, but I think the sheer excitement and nostalgia hit me like a wave with that first kick drum. It just everything about this song just encapsulates what this album is to me. It's fearless, head first, full stop, fearless, full stop. It's an amazing re-record. It gets me so hyped. The fact that this is probably, I have to think about this for a second, but in my opinion, this might be the best opening track to an album.
That's another episode we gotta figure out. But
yeah, I have to really sit with it because I feel like I could be contradicting myself. But from what I'm thinking right now, this is one of the best intros to an album. I think it perfectly just energy-wise gets you hyped up to listen to the rest of it, the energy behind it.
And then we
is
go to 15 and we're like, all right.
yeah. And then you're in a storybook and you're like, all right, well,
now
but
we're back on track.
Fearless is another one that I just want to smash a guitar. It's just so good.
I think you did say it best. Like, it does perfectly encapsulate this album. Like, it's a no wonder she named this the album after it and then said, no, I'm gonna also just put it number one. Like, it sets the tone for the whole album, and it's a truly remarkable song for a remarkable album. So that was our rankings of every song on Fearless that was originally on Fearless, plus Today Was a Fairy Tale. We're going to take a quick second to rank our bonus tracks. This is going to be a long episode, guys. Very sorry about it. But I know for me, we're not going to talk too deeply about them. We're going to eventually do a song breakdown for each of these where we do very deep dives into all of them. But we just wanted to give you guys a quick where we fall in them and maybe like a sentence about the song and why we like it the way we do. Mine actually changed since our last episode.
Same a little bit.
I couldn't hide it anymore. But what is your... We actually agree pretty well. Our number 6, Devin,
is both We Were Happy.
I really like the song, but I mostly just like a couple of lyrics on it.
When it was good, baby.
So good. It was so good. It was so good. Like, again, she gets the cadence really well, but like the rest of the song, I feel like I'm listening to the song to get to when it was good. It was good, baby. Laughing in the dark, talking about your daddy's farm. Like that's the whole song for me, honestly.
I agree with that.
And the bad part is I will still listen to this full song just to get to that part. That's how good it is.
Yep.
So go ahead, Taylor.
Now, next, our number 5. So we agree again, but it shocked me to the core when I learned this information. So our number 5 is That's When. And this song is literally August. This song has it's in the exact same key and it's the exact same, what is it? Not time signature, BPM of August, because someone did a mashup of these two songs and I'm like, wait, this changes everything.
Except it doesn't, because you still put it at 5.
Well, no, it used to be my 6. It went up 1 because
this changes everything. I need to move it up by 1.
All right, well, the other songs are also, I could probably maybe switch this with my number 4 here or there, but if Keith Urban wasn't on it, it'd be number 4.
Or if at least he did backing vocals, like he just doesn't add anything to this song. And like the thing I feel really comfortable about is it's very hard to say anything negative about Taylor Swift, especially on a Taylor Swift podcast. But like I think I can negatively say about this song, it needs more Taylor Swift, and I won't get much pushback from the community. But like, yeah, like I just want more Taylor Swift in the song. Her chorus is great. The chorus on the song, like We Were Happy, is phenomenal. I love listening to it. I don't want to listen to it when Keith Urban's singing it though.
See, I actually really enjoy the verses of this song.
I don't like his verse.
Well. All right. Let's go into number 4. Number 4, I hate you for this, but what's your number 4?
I need to listen to it more, but is Don't You. It doesn't stand out to me, but like it's not bad. Like I like it a lot. I'll listen to it. I'll enjoy myself while listening to it, but like it's a little bit like Change, but better, where it's just a little too middling for me. But hey, it was my number 6 and I moved it up. So
yes, proud of you for that. So my number 4 is Bye Bye Baby. It's 2 below yours. So Bye Bye Baby, great song for me. I just think that there's some that are a little bit better.
I agree. Our number 3. We matched on this one too. Our number 3 is You All Over Me. We talked a lot about this song. This was the first one she released. It's just genuinely good. Like there's a reason she released it. Like we listened to it a little bit more than the others, but like it's still number 3 for us. So that speaks a lot to it. I really liked it. We still really like it. It's a good song. Our number 2. Devin, what is your number 2?
Mr. Perfectly Fine, Mr. Laced with Crack. That is what this song is. This song gets me so hype. The key change, amazing. a fantastic song, a fantastic bonus track.
This is, yeah, it's a great one.
If my number one didn't exist, that would be my top song.
My number two is Bye Bye Baby, which originally I thought was my favorite song on the album, but I decided to stop kidding myself. I love Bye Bye Baby because, again, it was one of the songs from here that I actually knew as an unreleased song way back when in high school. And I have like this really emotional connection to it. I love it. I love that I knew it. And I like that I get a little bit of a variation to it, which is cool. But nothing compares to my number one, which is Mr. Perfectly Fine. Like, it's so good. Like,
Laced.
It's insane how good it is. Like, it's the best one. And I can't believe you didn't put it number one, but like, sure.
Like I said, if Don't You didn't exist, Mr. Perfectly Fine would be number one. But because Don't You exists, this song just transcends. It's just so good.
Doesn't transcend.
It's so emotional. The production is so good. The bridge with her vocals echoing in the background. Oh. So good. So good. Emotionally, this song makes me want to just stare blankly and disassociate. That's what the song makes me want to do.
Healthy things that Taylor Swift
I don't exist anymore. The song is just there. And it's just me like this.
All right. Well, that takes us to the end of our rankings of Taylor's Fearless. That takes us to the end of our rankings of Fearless Taylor's version. If you liked what you heard, please be sure to give us a review and a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts. If you have a friend that's a Taylor Swift fan, tell them about us, spread the word. It's the best way for us to continue to help growing this podcast.
And make sure to follow us on social media, subscribe to our YouTube channel if you want to see our lovely faces.
If you have a suggestion for an episode, drop us a comment or a DM. We love hearing from you guys, and we want to make what you want to see.
Yeah, and aside from that, thank you so much for listening. We will see you not next Tuesday, but the Tuesday after that.
Come back.
We'll be here.